Hello, folks. We're doing something a little bit different today, a little bit experimental. I'll explain to you as we're going along, but it has to do with the rookie cards that appear on the back of these Stadium Club cards. These are 1992 Series 1. I've got about a dozen packs, and I'm trying to pull a rookie card from an actual 87 or 88 Topps pack that is the same card as what appears on the back of one of these. So I'll show you what we're doing as we go along. We're looking for 88, 87 or 88 Topps cards that appear on the back here. And well, here's one right off, Mike Felder. He's from the 1987 Topps set. We'll see what we've got, and the hopes would be that there's a Mike Felder in that stack of 87s right there. Alan Davis, we know, does not have a rookie card from one of those years. Kevin Mitchell. These cards are beautiful while we're talking about them, so nice to open a bunch of these while we're doing it. Jim Olander. Not a name I recall. So Leary's too early for that. Paul Mahler's obviously too early for that. Always nice to look at his rookie card. Tana. Darrell Hamilton, a little bit too late. RFP. Carl Rhodes. Phil Dean Palmer. That was Phil Plantier. Misread that. Dean Palmer and Mark Davis also way too early. So we're going to keep going. We got a dozen of these, and I just want to get, I'm trying to get 5 cards from 87 or 5 cards from 88. And I'll explain the numbers here as we go along as to why that is. I did a little bit of math, and Lance Parrish obviously way too early. Nice look at the Del Murphy rookie card there. Pretty nice foursome. Bo Diaz, Ernie Witt, Lance Parrish, Dale Murphy, all had really good careers. Bo Diaz, the least successful of them, but he had a long major league career. Witt, Parrish, and Murphy, all good to great players. That's something. Felix Fermin, and he does have an 88 Topps card, so we'll hold on to that one for now. Spike Owen is too early. Dante Bichette's too late. Erickson too late. Smith's too early. Pat Kelly, actually showing his 91 Stadium Club card. Our friend Junk Wax Genius, who I'm sure many of you watch his channel, he's always looking for cardception, where the card on the back is the card on the front. Now, this is an 88 Topps, but it's Topps traded, so we won't find that in those 88 Topps packs that are there, so we're not going to include that one. Mark Gardner, Walt Terrell's way too early. Jimmy Key's too early. Mike Bodeker's too early. It's fun to see all these rookie cards, though, that's for sure. Dave Island, a little bit too late. So what I've done is I have 7 packs of 87 there and 7 packs of 88 Topps, and I've given myself basically about a 50% chance of getting the same cards you see here out of one of those packs if I get a total of 5. And I did a little bit of math, and that math has some assumption, but we'll see. I can open these backwards. We got this Danny Tarble, Reggie Harris, Ryan Bowen, Jose Guzman, Rob Deere, Dan Gladden. It's Dan Geckler. Wasn't it? I thought, I'm thinking of Dana Keeker. Similar name from a similar place, Dan Geckler. Yeah. Larry Anderson. Another one of those nice rookie cards from 78, but Jack Morris is obviously the guy you're trying to get there. The team checklist. Ricky Bonus. Kevin Reiner. Shane Mack from the 85 Topps. Chris Wilkerson. Spike Owen, and a Felix Fermin again. That doesn't really help us because we've already got it. Striking out so far on these. Let's see how we go if we keep going here. Who knows? This might just be a rip of a bunch of 92 Series 1 Stadium Club. Bill Sampson. Mark Davis again. Here's Dean Palmer again. Carl Rhodes again. Darrell Hamilton again. Albert Bell. Paul Molitor again. Gerald Alexander, Tim Leary, Jim Olander again. These are repeats. Brian Bohannon sticking to Tommy Gregg. Mike Jeffcoat, and Stan Royer. Not having a lot of great pulls out of this in any event, but here's one we need. Willie Frazier, 87 tops. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Again, we're trying to get 5 of these cards. Al Osuna, here's the Bernie Williams. Look at those glasses. Wow, those are some big glasses. Tom Foley, David Howard, Randy Velarde, Mike McFarland, and again, that's a Topps traded card, so we won't find those in there. Bill Doran, Darren Lewis, and he's sticking to Riley. Scott Lewis, Mark Grace, again, that's going to be a traded card. Mike Flanagan is going to be too early. And Francisco de la Rosa. Looks like a photo from the same session, but not literally the same card. Look at this. Look at this. We got a Barry Larkin right on top here. So he fits our pattern. Calvin Jones. Milt Kyler, Franklin Stubbs, Ramon Martinez, Bud Black, Wally Joyner. Oh, that's a nice card. Although it's a little bit of an awkward slide. Look at that, his left foot is over there. Dirt is cool. Helmet's coming off. He looks a little uneasy, but still a pretty cool card overall. Mark Wohlers, Dante Bichette, Jeff Russell, Devon White. Sweet. So we're getting there with the 87 tops. Really only need one more to get what we're trying to get to. All right, look at it. We got it here. That's a Joe Girardi. So Karkovice, Ron Karkovice, gets us where we're trying to get to. Come to him in a second. Cecil Espy's from Topps Traded. Weird cropping on that card where they're not showing the whole border. And Curtis Wilkerson again. Okay, so we're gonna go with 87 tops here, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna save the rest of these for another time. We're gonna save the 88 tops for another time, and we're gonna look at the 87 tops and remind ourselves of the cards we're going for. So we're going for Mike Felder, Ron Karkovice, Barry Larkin, Devon White, Willie Frazier. Now, I calculated this out from a math perspective. I think we have something like a 53% chance of getting one of these 5 cards in one of these 7 packs. That's assuming that these packs are all totally randomly collated, which they're not, but it's not necessarily a bad guess. They all came from the same wax box, so we shouldn't see as much repetition as we just saw in those Stadium Club packs that we just opened. So let's see. We'll open as many of these. We'll open all 7 of them if we don't get the card. If we do get the card, we'll stop, but let's see what we get. And hey, we get to open some bonus 87 tops as part of this. Yum, yum, yum. Let's see what we got. Hall of Famer right there.
Oh my God!
This seems not kind of crazy. So this incredible experiment that I did is successfully over already. We've already got the Devon White right there. Well, let's keep going. Can I get this to work? There we go. Let's keep going and see what else we can get. I did not expect 3 cards in to have that happen. So let's see what else we got. Terry Pendleton. Getting nasty. That's crazy. I didn't think. I mean, that's how the odds work sometimes. But it's a fun excuse to open a whole bunch more 87 tops. Mingo Ramos, Dwayne Ward, Blue Jays leaders. That looks like George Bell. 26. I'm not sure. Mosby? I don't know. I'll put it on the screen here. Dave Magan and Future Star, Bill Scher, Dave Leeper, Frank DePino, Pirates leader. That's an easy one. Sid Bream and Tony Pena. Jimmy Ortiz, Vita Blue, Lee Lacey, Don Guidry, Kirk Ford, Juan Espino, Ron Darling, Brett Saberhagen, and Mike Maddox. Didn't have a great career as a pitcher, but's had a nice career as a pitching coach. L.B. King, Pete O'Brien, Bob Brenly, Reds leaders. I think I've done this one before. I think that's Bo Diaz, Pete Rose, and I believe that's Nick Saski. Is it? I'm pretty sure I looked at this card before, and it's Nick Saski. Jerry Mumphrey, a very underrated outfielder. Scott Terry, Jude Davis, Kelly Gruber, Bob Tewksbury, Tony Bernazar, Bruce Sutter, Jeff Russell, Mike Heath, John Cerruti, Earl Weaver, and Ed Nunez with some delicious looking gum. We're kind of getting a 2-for-1 shot because we got one of those cards just 3 cards into our first pack. Odds are still good, around 50% of getting another one of these. So we're just kind of doing a 2-for-1 test here. Keith Atherton, Greg Gross, Gene Walter, Fernando All-Star RIP, Ken Phelps, Bob McClure. Expos, let's see who we got here. Buck Rogers, the manager, Mike Fitzgerald, catcher, and I couldn't tell you what umpire that is. Tony Walker with some gum. Greg Matthews, Mariano Duncan. There he is. Mike Felder. Awesome. Jack Clark, John Cangelosi. Look at all these Mets. Wow. We got Hojo, Gary Carter, Darryl Strawberry, and the pretty boy himself, Keith Hernandez.
Pretty boy.
Eddie Miller, Kurt Young, Bill Allman. So I'm satisfied with how this has turned out. I think it's fun to pull the rookie card and the original card together. Look at this. Oh, it's George Frazier. That's Willie Frazier. I thought we had it, but we don't. It's fun to pull them together.
That's what she said.
Randy Lee was the first player in Major League history to strike out 100 times in a season that he didn't hit any home runs. He hadn't done it yet by this year, so you don't see it here, but he was the first guy to do that. Bobby Witt, nice career, and even better genes. Think about what his son's doing these days. Tony La Russa, Kirk Gibson, a checklist, Jeff Herron, Al McRae. Look how young he looks. This was very well into his career, but aged well. Who do we got here? Look at all these coaches. We got Yogi Berra, Gene Tennis, that must be. I'd have to look at who the other coaches were in the 86 staff. I should know it since they were such a great team, but take a look. I'll put it up on the screen. Ed Hearn, Steve Boros, Lenny Dykstra, Mike LaValliere, The Strawman, Jim Clancy, Benny DiStefano. All right, let's see what we got in the last couple here. Look, this one. Ron Karkovice. I want to say Karkovice because Junk Wax Genius always says Karkovice. It's not. It's Karkovice. So you probably thought at the beginning of this, like, you're only going to open 7 packs of 87 Topps and you're looking for 5 specific cards. No shot. We already pulled 3 of them. That's just how the math works, although I think this is more successful than we would expect from the math. Fernando, Bobby Bonilla, Frank Tanana. All right, guys. It's awesome. It's awesome. Frank Tanana is a super underrated pitcher. Just had a fantastic career, long career, very, very productive. We'll do more about him some other day. Jim Ocker, Dan Schatzeder, Ray Quinones, Dave Revecki, Kevin Romine, Tony Pena, Bob Forsch, Joel Select, Dave Collins, Bruce Bochy, Gossage, and Doug Draybeck. So the only question that remains is, could we possibly pull a Willie Frazier from the last pack? I would be amazed if we did. I'd rather pull a Don Mattingly or a Barry Bonds or a Bo Jackson or something else. But how many kids ever said, I really hope I could pull a Willie Frazier? Probably not a lot. Let's say a Rebe Jumau, Randy O'Neill, Bruce Bhakti, Tim Burke, Larry Herndon. Here's Terry Pendleton again, Joe Cowley, Bruce Benedict, Mr. Tony Gwynn, Connie Lansford, Luis Salazar, Dan Petrie, checklist, Ken Howell, Tim Pisnarski, and Bill Dolly with the gum. We didn't get it, but I'm going to say 4 out of 5. That's not too bad. That was really cool. A lot of fun. Last looks at our cards here. Beautiful Hall of Famer there, and Barry Larkin. Nice. On Karkovice. I think I had a stat the other day. He's the longest tenured catcher to spend his entire career with the White Sox. And Mike Felder. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining. Willie Frazier, we'll save you for another day, my friend. Thanks for watching. Hit like, please. Hit subscribe, and see you all soon.